I would like to extend my condolences to Harsimra's family. This is a young girl who had her whole life ahead of her and was tragically lost her life because some thugs picked up a gun. Harsimra's family sent her to Hamilton to prepare her for her future, and there is now an empty seat at their dinner table and an empty seat at her aunt's house and her friend's home. As a community, we should be outraged. This is not okay. This is a stark reminder that a devastating impact of gun violence in our city. This is a complex issue, and it will take all of us to put a stop to it. I'm appealing to anyone with information to come forward and to do the right thing. Your voice, along with everybody else, can bring justice and can prevent further harm. As Chief, I'm committing every available resource to find the person or persons responsible for this senseless killing, and we will find you. We know that incidents like this shake the public's confidence. We take that extremely seriously. We can focus on the broader conversation of gun violence in our city at another time, because those are important conversations. Today, let's find and let's focus on the punks that killed Harsimra and ensure that they're brought to justice and they're held accountable. I would like to turn it over to Detective Sergeant Darrell Reed to give you an investigative update.
Thank you, Chief. Last night at approximately 7:30 p.m., the Hamilton Police Service received a number of 911 calls to the area behind me at Upper James and South Bend for a shooting that had just occurred. What we've learned is that there was a confrontation between two vehicles at this site, one being a black Mercedes SUV, the other vehicle a white sedan. During that altercation, shots were fired from the Mercedes, and tragically, one of those rounds went across the street and struck a woman who was waiting at a bus stop across the street. We've located her family. She is from India. She's a Mohawk student. Her family is in India, but they have extended family in Toronto that are helping us communicate back and forth. And she's been identified as a 21-year-old Mohawk college student, Harsimra Randhawa. I echo some of the things the Chief just said about the gun violence in our city, and we're appealing to the public to come forward and help us locate these people and provide us the information we need to bring this to a resolution. So with that said, I can take a few questions.
When you said that the victim was waiting for an HRS bus, this can't help but notice, it's an HRS bus stop just behind the Chief. Is that the one? Is that where the victim was waiting for a bus, or another one here along the roadway area?
So she was over my left shoulder, so she was on the southeast corner of that intersection, and she was just standing there waiting for the city bus to come.
And what information, if any, do you or your colleagues have about anything that may have happened with that white van and that Mercedes before gunshots happened?
So we're still actively trying to obtain video in the area and interviewing witnesses, so we'll have a better idea once we can get through all that video, but we do know that the two cars engage at this intersection, and then during that engagement, shots are fired from the black Mercedes towards the white car, and tragically, one of those rounds went across the street. Another round also went a fair distance over some structures and hit the back window of a home on Allenby, and luckily those people, they were home and they were only a few feet away from that window, but the bullet did not penetrate all the way into the residence and they weren't hurt in the incident.
Now, as a seasoned investigator, what can you say about how fortunate it is that that bullet did not penetrate the house and somebody get injured inside the house as well?
They're extremely fortunate. If that bullet had been 1 or 2 feet to the right, it would have been potentially a different story. And it did travel a long ways. That street is 1 street away, so it went through the back window of that house. So it's just a reflection of what happens when you pull a trigger on a gun and what could be at risk in the public.
And the Mercedes, what was the last direction it was seen driving away from the scene in?
Yes, so we have the Mercedes flees westbound on South Bend, which is the street that we're on right now, and the white sedan left northbound on Upper James.
What information, if any, do you have about how many people were in the Mercedes?
It's a little too early to say that, but I can confirm there was at least 2 people in both vehicles. But beyond that, I don't have enough information yet.
And any information about what the description of the shooter inside that vehicle?
Not at this time. We don't have that information yet.
Detective, both vehicles were traveling in the same direction when they exchanged gunfire?
No, I'm not going to get too deep into the details there. One vehicle was here and the other vehicle came into the area. but until we get a little deeper into reviewing the video and some more witness statements, I don't want to commit to a certain scenario there. But one vehicle was here first, and the other one arrived.
Right. So, but you've got a bullet a street over, and you've got a bullet in the face of this mall here. So, was just one vehicle doing all the firing, or were they exchanging gunfire?
I can confirm that gunfire came from the black Mercedes for sure. Regarding the investigation on this side of the street, that's still a little too early to talk about that as to whether it's related to this or it's something else we're dealing with. But I can confirm that the black Mercedes shot, and they shot in the direction across Upper James.
So you'll see if you can find a bullet in there, you'll see if they match.
Correct. Yes.
But you're not for sure yet.
That's right.
And it's believed the black Mercedes, shots from the black Mercedes is what killed her.
Yes.
Do you know what just the two shots doing at the time, or where she was coming from, or where she was going? Do you guys know anything about that?
That's still part of our investigation. We're trying to find some of her co-workers and her family and friends that are in this area. So the most I can say now is it appears to be at the bus stop, just waiting for the bus to come.
I got a different name this morning when speaking with the family. Is there a possibility that she's got a much longer name than it is right now?
It is possible. I know that she shortens her first name a little bit. So the name that I used is her legal first and last name. She does have a long middle name, and she shortens her first name sometimes. So.
Is it just the two shots fired total?
No, I'm not going to disclose the number of shots. I'll say multiple shots, but I'm not going to give the actual number.
And the victim, was she alone here at the time?
Yes, she was.
How long was she in Canada for?
That I don't know. Her direct family is in India, but she does have extended family in the GTA, and we've been in contact with them last night, and they're helping us communicate back and forth to India as well.
Are these vehicles known to you at all?
I'm not going to comment on that at this point.
Is there any threat to the public?
Well, that's always a question that we have when it comes to gun violence, and that's why we take gun violence so seriously, and we hope that our community comes forward and helps us solve these crimes. We can't have people going around shooting at 7:30 anywhere in the city. When you watch some of the video from this area, there is a large number of cars going up and down Upper James. So I'm always concerned when a single bullet is shot in the city.
Do you have video of these cars?
We do have video. We're just being a little cautious right now until we get more of the video to iron out how many cars are involved and make sure that we actually have the right cars before we do anything further with that video.
You mentioned she works somewhere in the area as well. Do you know where?
We do know the employer, but we're still working into that to find some of her co-workers to try to provide some support to them as well.
How many shell casings were found? And were they found on the road or all around? Obviously hitting another house.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the number of shell casings. The most I would say is that they are concentrated on the west side of the street here. But beyond that, I don't want to get too far into that until we get a little more ballistics.
Was there
anybody else at the bus stop?
No, so this is a bus stop that's not a sheltered bus stop. It's just a pole with a posting on it, and it appears that she's standing alone at that time.
Was there any interaction between these two vehicles before this incident and after?
That we do not know.
Do you know how long she was standing at the bus stop for?
All I can say is a few minutes. We're going back now to get further video to try to track her movement into the area, but she is there before the cars arrive and the whole confrontation takes place.
You talked about Upper James. It's obviously a very busy stretch of road. There's major grocery stores, there's apartments, there's families. This was a brazen shooting. If you were the chief, talk about, what that means for the community. I'm sure everyone in the area is very shaken by this.
Yes, and we can't work in silos. We have to work with our community to solve these crimes, and that's why we always appeal to the neighbors out here know their community. They want to have a safe community, and we need them to come forward and help us try to solve these crimes.
It's extremely unsettling for a community that people who feel that they can just carelessly, recklessly pick up a gun and then start shooting. Your word brazen is absolutely accurate. I've had the opportunity to speak with the mayor, and she shares that sentiment. This is not acceptable. This is a time that our conversations are not just a media scrum, but it has to be larger conversations in our community to understand that if you see something, say something. If you see somebody in your family playing with a gun, whether it's a kid, a brother, sister, partner, whatever it is, you have a responsibility. The city has a responsibility to do better. This is an important time to speak up and to be heard that gun violence is not acceptable in our community.
Okay, we hope to have some more updates in the days coming forward, and if we have some video we can release, we'll try to get that out to you as well.
Yes, just want to follow up.
Yes.
Scheduled autopsy at this time, what can you say about that?
So that autopsy is continuing right now. It started this morning, and we're hoping to get those results later this afternoon. Thank you very much.
everybody. Thank you also for taking the time out of a busy weekend to come here to be with